Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your host Mappy here, and first things first, hope you guys all had an awesome New Year's and welcome to 2022. So, as we continue on our journey with Kimetsu no Yaiba, we are now in episode 5, which I do believe is around the halfway point of this current arc. And, quite fitting since we now have Tanjirou formally meeting the demon Daiki and about to have a go at it, right? Well, I guess technically they already had a few goes at it, but hopefully we will see more of what the demon is actually capable of, and even worse than that, I hope that Tengen and the others can quickly get to the scene so we can see some of that as well. I am dying to see what Tengen's abilities are and, how far along his abilities rate in terms of the kickassery scale. So anyways, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, speaking of which... Really? That's what you're... Huh. Okay. I guess this could be more so of a, like, happening at the same time kind of situation, right? I'm gonna assume that's what it is. As, once again, I don't think Tanjiro and Daiki are being exactly subtle about their fighting. By the way, me and my good friend Madlad actually had our, seasonal podcast a few days ago, and feel free to check that out as well. We do talk a little bit about Kimetsu no Yaiba. You can, search in YouTube Mad Musings, the Mad Musings podcast. Da 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 da. Things are gonna get real flashy. So hopefully that means Tengen's gonna do something. But of course, we gotta rescue his wives first, right? Yeah, like I said, they aren't exactly being subtle about all this. I'm glad that they addressed that. I'm not sure if that is tears of relief or tears that she can't be of some use in the battle as well to support Tengen. Oh, they went underground, eh? Ooh, nice. Ooh.
それを撃ったのはろくな刀鍛冶じゃないでしょ。違う。この刀を撃った人はすごい人だ。腕のいい刀鍛冶なんだ。じゃあなんで刃こぼれすんだよ、間抜け。あっちでもこっちでもガタガタし始めた。尺に触るから次でお前を殺す。
Are you gonna get serious, lady?
悪いと刃こぼれするんだ。俺のせいだ。やっぱり俺は水の呼吸を使いこなせない。俺は水の呼吸に適した体じゃないんだ。水の呼吸では鱗滝さんや富岡さんのようにはなれない。俺の場合、一撃の威力がどうしても日の神神楽の方が強い。体に合っているんだ。でも
Okay, he's conflicted with what kind of style he actually wants to use.
その強力さゆえに連発ができなかった。
Hmm.
今は違う。俺はやれるはずだ。いや、やる。そのために修行してきた。負けるな、燃やせ。
Don't try, just do!
大したことないわね。所詮この程度よ。
Ooh.
どこ？日の神神楽、現日光。
Up?
好きだ。好きの糸。いける。
Yep. His body.
遅いわね。あくびが出るわ。受け身を取れ。受け身。
Well, of course, it is, you know, it is an upper six, right?
日の神神楽を連発した反動が来た。疲労の蓄積で筋肉がこわばれ。まだ生きてるんだ。落ち着け。呼吸を整えろ。回復するんだ。早く。
Ooh.
帯が強靭な刃物のようだ。月の糸が見えてもすぐに消えてしまう。俺の攻撃が遅いんだ。体温を上げろ。もっと体温を上げろ。私、忍様に言いますから。炭治郎さんの熱が下がらないこと。キヨちゃん頼む。この通りだ。秘密にしてくれ。
Hmm.
俺は大丈夫だから。でも俺は元気だ。大丈夫。平気なんだ。この体温計を見てください。38度です。昨日も一昨日もそうだった。
Yeah, that's definitely a fever temperature. Now the question is this just normal, or is this actually something that's actually detrimental?
実は熱が出ている状態だと本当に調子がいいんだよ。日の神神楽を連続して使えるんだ。もっと強くなれるかもしれない。忍さんに報告するのはもう少し待ってくれない だけちょっとだけ。
わかりました。でも少しだけですよ。
体温が体の熱が上がっているのがわかる。戦えてる。
Yeah, if these guys are still, you know, just regular humans, that can't be good for his health.
面白いわ。やれる。日の神神楽なら通用するんだ。いや、通用するだけじゃダメだ。勝つんだ。自分の持てる力すべてを使って必ず勝つ。守るために、命を守るために、二度と理不尽に奪わせない。もう二度と誰も俺たちと同じ悲しい思いをさせない。
That was his family at the beginning there.
ブサイクは頑張ってもブサイクなのよ。
Ooh. Hello, ladies.
何どうしたの？化け物があんた仕事の支度しなさいよ。
Now the question is it? Yeah, it's an Inosuke.
はあ？そんなことあるわけないでしょ。じゃあ
ビリビリ感じるぜ、鬼の気配。ここか。見つけたぞ。鬼の巣に通じる穴を覚悟しやがれ。頭しか入れねえというわけだな。
Well, just dig! Diggy dig!
この猪之助様には通用しねえ。俺は体中の関節を外せる男。つまりは頭さえ入ればどこでもいい。
What the heck? Ooh. Okay. But anyways, this would answer why, you know, how exactly the demon goes between all these places. Now, having one underground makes a lot more sense than there being something in the ceilings or whatnot.
なんだこりゃ。いや、この感触。生きてる人間だ。女の腹巻きの中に捕まえた人間を閉じ込めるのか。
And a lot of dead ones.
それで好きな時に出して食うんだ。
But yeah, kind of like a spider.
何してんだこいつ。
お前が何をしてるんだよ。よそ様の食料庫に入りやがって。汚い。汚いね。汚い。臭い。
Oh,
なんだこのミミズ。キモ。
okay. So that's another demon as well? Huh.
気持ち悪いんだよミミズ帯。動きが鈍いぜ。欲張って人間を取り込みすぎてんだ。てっぷりこいたミミズの攻撃なんぞ。猪之助様に当たりゃしねえ。ケツまくって。
Oh,
出直してきな。
Pressure cleaning out.
マイコと人間を避けて切りやがる。せっかく鮮度の高い食料を保存していたのに。こいつの勘の鋭さ。特に先を感じる力は尋常じゃない。前後左右、どこからの攻撃でも敏感に察知してかわす。食料貯
That's why there were actually two different voices credited for Daiki.
そいつは薪を捕らえた時に邪魔をしたやつだ。美しかった。保存していた人間も極めて美しい10人以外は殺しても構わない。ただ殺すより生け捕りは難しいかもしれないわ。そこにいる何人か食ってお前の体を強化しろ。
Oof. Damn. That was badass.
私を切ったって意味ないわよ。本体じゃないし。それよりせっかく救えた奴らがおろそかだけどいいのかい？あんたにやられた分はすぐに取り戻せるんだよ。
やべえ、人間を守りながらの戦いをしなきゃならねえのに。くそ、間に合わねえ。ミミズオビが。
Oh. There he is. Oh. Huh. When did he free those two? I think I recognize the voice of the blue ones. Oh, she's cute. Ah, there we go. Sixfold! Actually, is this the first time he did something in front? I actually can't quite remember right now.
なんなのあいつは。なんて速さ。いや、それよりも今、音が2つ鳴らなかったか。落雷のような音が重なって2つ鳴った。1つはあいつ。もう1つは。
Tengen! Woohoo!
風穴が開いたの。地上から何をしたらここまで穴を開けられるのよ。
なんだ。
いる。誰か入ってきた。
Oh.
この気配。走ら。
Woof! Sorry I'm late. Oh, sorry, I took so long.
昔はこんなんじゃなかったんだけどな。死ぬのは嫌じゃなかった。そういう教育を受けてきたから。忍びだから。特にくのいちなんてのはどうしたって男の忍びに力が劣るんだし、命を懸けるなんて最低限の努力だった。
Oh, flashback now? Alright.
お前たちは自分の命のことだけ考えろ。 遂行より命。こんななりわいで言ってることがちぐはぐになるが問題ない。俺が許す。俺は派手にはっきりと命の順序を決めている。まずはお前ら3人。
Okay, I like this.
俺だ。鬼殺隊である以上、当然のほほんと地味に生きている一般人も守るが、派手にぶっちゃけると俺、お前らのが大事だから、死ぬなよと。
そんなこと言っていいの？自分の命なんか優先してたら大した仕事できないけどいいの？
いいんじゃない？天元様がそれでいいと言うなら、死ぬのが嫌だって生きていたいと思うのだって悪いことじゃないはずよ。そういう自分が嫌じゃなければそれでいいのよ、きっと。
そうね。
派手にやってたようだな。さすが俺の女房だ。
Okay, I really like Suma. Now to do some real flashy things. And then, of course, the end. Who is it, actually? I need to... Too fast! Too fast! I think it might be Suzuka-san, though. That voice. Well, anyways, we got quite a few answers now, right? Such as... Well, I guess I should go over that in the review portion. But I am glad that they kind of answered a lot of the stuff. I have to say that looking at Suma, you definitely wouldn't think that she was that kind of klutzy character. Really? Ooh. That's another plus for Suma. Although actually, having, you know, Kunoichi as wives, there's a catch to that. But, well, we'll talk more after this. Alright guys, that was episode 5, and we finally do see Tengen in action, and in all of the 3 wives as well, and I gotta say my favorite up to this point, definitely Suma, right? Maybe a little bit of a crybaby, but still, she is so goddamn cute. And she's actually voiced by Toyama now. I'm sorry, I thought that voice sounded familiar, but I couldn't quite keep my, put my finger on who exactly it was. That's a cute voice. But anyways, so regarding this episode, I guess we can roughly divide it into two parts, right? One would obviously be Tanjirou's perspective, or you know, everything that's happening over there with him and Daiki, and also with this other part with Tengen, and of course the rest of the gang, right? So in the first part, well, I am glad that we do see an upper six showing, you know, their capabilities are worthy of being in the upper six and whatnot. Even with Tanjiro doing all his, you know, everything that he can do, the discrepancy in power, right? That's what I'm really trying to see here, because I think I mentioned this in the last episode as well. I really want to see the overwhelming power of you know, one of the top 6 demons versus one like Tanjiro, who, even though has a few tricks up his sleeve, right? And you know, we know he's solid and all that, but still, in all respect, he should not be able to fight equally with a demon within the upper 6. So I am glad that we see a little bit, you know, a few sparks of that. It definitely still has me wondering how exactly he's going to get out of this current situation, though. Especially since now it's been revealed that Tengen actually went underground to go after the other half of Daiki, I guess you could say. So how exactly is Tanjiro going to get out of that situation, right? I would prefer if it's not like some sudden new gain strength or whatnot. I still hold by by my opinion that Tanjiro should not be able to be on par with a demon of the upper 6 at this stage in time. So the way I look at it, the only thing that could happen is for, or I guess what I would prefer would be for Nezuko to make an appearance and, you know, help her big bro out, or for actually Daiki to, you know, be aware of the situation happening underground and deciding to you know, cut losses while she can, right? She can't get distracted by killing off some random demon slayer in the middle of the streets because she has bigger problems, right? I guess one of those two. In regards to Tanjiro's own abilities, though, I do think we are at an interesting dilemma here, right? You know, should Tanjiro continue with the water breathing technique, or should he switch over to fire instead, right? And, you know, the entire thing about the fever and whatnot, is that actually good? Is that you know, how it's supposed to be, or are there some hidden consequences there? I think those are interesting things to think about. Certainly he has said that, you know, rising the body temperature and whatnot makes him fight better, allows him to do these rapid successive blows and whatnot, but still, as I mentioned, the human body is not really supposed to be constantly at those temperatures, right? It's not good for your body, it's not good for your health. So I do wonder if maybe he's either doing something wrong, or you know, there are serious repercussions for continuously using that kind of style here. And also the water breathing technique, right? Is it true? Is it really true that he's going to be you know, just abandoning it and instead switching over his styles? I don't think so. I feel like he's probably still going to be continuing to use the water breathing technique, especially since if all of them actually stem from the same original techniques, right? I don't think that should be an excuse, question mark. I don't know, maybe not. I just find it kind of peculiar because it's kind of his thing at this point, right? Like, sure, the fire sword and all, you know, that's cool, right? And definitely flashy and fling, hey, flashy, har. But still, the water stuff, it's kind of iconic at this point. So I do feel like he will continue to use it on and so on and so forth. So yeah, anyways, I think that's pretty much it for that portion. We'll have to see how exactly he gets out of the situation next week. And then of course, the other part here, right? I am glad that we get to the entire part of you know, the second half in regards to Daiki. You know, it turns out that these cloths or wraps, or what do we call it, like warm tape, warm wrap, or something of that sort. Or warm belt. I'm glad that we got that figured out, right? Because it was kind of it was kind of odd to me why there were seemingly these two voices and being able to appear at multiple places at the same time. Sure, there are some, we can clearly see that there are these underground tunnels and whatnot that would definitely help with the entire situation, but this makes a lot more sense, right? There being two entities here. That was revealed. The fact that they are making a lot of sounds and commotions, that has been revealed as well. Although, personally, I still feel that, actually, I mean, we already see what Tengen said, right? The lives of his wives are much more important than anybody else to him, so I guess it would make sense that he would go rescue his wives first. But one could argue, right? One could argue that, sensing the presence of an upper demon and going towards that place might be just a tad more important here. But hey, I don't blame the guy, right? Certainly rescuing your wives, rescuing your girls is quite important here. We got to see a lot, right? We got to see Inosuke do some of his stuff. We got to see Zenitsu do some of his stuff. And we also got to see Tengen doing some of his stuff, right? So I was wondering, like, what exactly the style of sound is supposed to be. I guess, presuming from what he's shown so far, it's a kind of speed style as well, similar to Zenitsu's lightning style, lightning breathing technique. I think it's maybe not a coincidence that the sounds were kind of overlapping, or maybe it was, right? It's hard to say there. If we are going to take those two together, it would kind of be like thunder and lightning, right? One is at the speed of light, one is at the speed of sound. So it still goes to say that lightning is probably faster than sound, but in that case, then why is there the existence of sound, right? So I'm still trying to see, like, what exactly is the merits of the sound breathing style, and or I guess the Sound Hashira, and what exactly is different. I really don't think it's just a case of super speed, right? Otherwise, that would be kind of overlapping in a lot of ways. So we see only a little bit about what he can use, but I think at the same time, though, probably any kind of Hashira could demonstrate that kind of movement and that kind of speed here. So beyond that, I would say that at this point, it's still completely unknown, like, what his actual capabilities are. I mean, all full props to them, though. He did arrive in a pretty flashy manner, rescue everybody in a pretty flashy manner, and put out some flair, right? Play out some flourish in a pretty flashy manner as well. So, full props to him, and next episode, of course, we will be getting into some more of the fun stuff. Obviously, glad that we get introduced to all of his wives, all babes, absolutely, and I guess all with their own personalities as well. One is, we gotta have that, right? You gotta have the calm one, you gotta have the fury one, all right, and then you gotta have the cutesy one. Having multiple wives, having, I wouldn't really classify this as harem, to be honest, because it's not. It's just like what they said. It's polygamy. No, yeah, it's nice that we have all these different personalities and styles and whatnot. But of course, I've already mentioned who my favorite is at this point in time. As long as she doesn't, continue to be too, what can I say? Too obnoxious, right? Like Zenitsu sometimes turns up a little bit too much, and you can kind of tone it down, boy. Tone it down a little bit. But yeah, one other thing that I kind of wanted to talk about, which I guess is really only tangentially related, but I do find it kind of interesting, right? Because they went through the entire thing of mentioning that they are Kunoichi, and they do have their oath to their duty, right? Their sworn duty, what they're supposed to do, and whatnot. One thing I think bears to be said about this kind of situation, right? Because on one hand, you can say, oh, look at Tengen, because their family practices it, so he gets to have 3 wives, right? Well, I guess that's part of the story, right? But you have to understand from another standpoint that Kunoichi, or ninjas, I guess you could say, the origin of ninjas is not like this kind of fighting with fighting with shurikens and all that kind of stuff, right? Ninjas are in essence spies. They were derived from spies, and especially for female ninjas or kunoichis, them being spies also points to them, using the methods and arts of seduction to get to their targets and get the necessary information and have you whatnots, right? And so that kind of goes with their lives as well, right? And I think, in some way the work already has hinted at this, since they are clearly working as the courtesans within the red light district. They do have to do some stuff, right? And so it's kind of just goes with the territory. So what I'm saying here is that having 3 wives, that's great, but you're having 3 ninja wives, right? There's some package that comes with that territory, if you guys get what I mean. But no, I do think it's a pretty interesting way to basically pronounce this kind of situation. Or maybe I'm looking a little bit too much into it, right? Because obviously this would not be the first work to feature ninjas working within the within this kind of profession and whatnot, and it makes a lot of sense, right? Going back to what I was talking about, their true mission essentially being spies, information gathering, and especially for those the female variety, I guess you could say, using seduction is definitely par for the course, right? I guess for males as well, but obviously it kind of works differently in that regards, right? So yeah, again, tangentially related, to be honest, but I do find it interesting to kind of point that out, since they actually went through the entire spiel of the backstory between Tengen and his 3 wives, right? And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I want to say at this point. Yeah. So, in the next episode, hopefully we get some good fights, and even though we didn't really get to see too much of Tengen this episode, I certainly hope we will see a lot more of him in the next episode. And, of course, all the others as well. And hey, throw in his wives as well, right? Certainly I do hope to see them in action as well. Although, I guess their abilities can't really quite compete with those of Demon Slayers. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.